Oh hi, thanks for stopping by. This is here a video about the prayer flags, the WINDHORSE and the mandala, Tanadug. What are these strange flags we see depicted everywhere, and if they are truly Buddhist, how could they be depicting anything of some kind of categorical division? Well, if that's the question that you've asked, or not, here you are, and you found yourself in the good arms of the beholder, of which who is going to explain a little bit, referring to the great mandala, Tanadug. The WINDHORSE is said to be a kind of mythical, semi-mythical creature of which the prayers of universal compassion are blown upon the winds, fluttering in all corners of time and space. Yes, there also may be some kind of intuition when you see these strung upon strange houses with billowing smoke, also a strange festivals and the tops of cold mountains. Well, that is exactly right. The intuition may be there that these flags are colours representing the 5 elements. But not only do they represent elements, they also represent directions, the cardinal directions, of which the mandala, if you're some kind of divine symbolic architect, would be able to understand, of which you could erect your own house of light. Yellow from the south, representing earth. White in the east, representing water. Green representing air from the north, and red representing fire of the west. But also, there are Buddha families that are represented by these dignitaries. The 5 dignitaries are actually depicted by what is called a Mahamudra. It's not just a symbol of an animal, but a great seal. No, not that kind of seal. I'm talking about the Vajra family, maintenance of the water dragon, the Padma family, represented not only by a lotus, but by Garuda, the eagle. The Kama family, represented by double strikes of lightning bolt, the element of air, and the snow line. The yellow element of the earth, a tiger, representing Ratnasambhava, the gift-giving. What do these have to do with Tibetan Buddhism? How do I find my family? And what kind of orientation does one have in this particular universal house of light? Well, if you really want to know an individual assessment of your particular mental orientations, you just have to look at where you are now and have a good enough introspection to detach yourself from your symbolic dependency and be able to see things in terms of a great symbol, that which your heart yearns. I'm going to tell you a little bit about it, but if you want to get in touch, I can tell you a lot more. It is said that the family of Karma inspires activity, the family of Padma turns possession, that which was seen in religious spheres of wanting to possess the other, into discrimination of wisdom bringing. Moving from the darkness is a light. Vajra, which was angry, is a self-reflecting awareness. Wisdom, to be able to see the self in other. The wisdom of which has no practical ground in the West, unless there is a good tantric practice. And Ratna is the bringing of the gift. What was previously a smug self-satisfaction inspires generosity. As space carries all, the question may be, in fact, where is space and how is space carried? Shambhala. Now, our forefathers in the 19th and 20th centuries went out on great feats to look for Shambhala, Shangri-La, this strange castle in the sky, a light emitted from a shore far, far away, of which they could never actually find. Maybe that's because Shambhala is deep within the recesses of a place that no 18th century, 19th century anthropologist in the male patriarchy of philosophy had actually dared to look inside. So, could Shambhala itself be a recessed inner haven of sorts, of which mandalas are the symbolic iconographic depictions? Maps of internal terrain representing 5 gates, of which are protected by families. And if that's the case, then there's certainly some kind of higher order of symbolic reference taking place here, of which we could one day perhaps understand different dimensions of existence. Ontological communication on higher planes could possibly have taken place. Not to say that the ancients are right and we're doing it wrong, but some kind of untime-bound destination, a unity of all nations, the universal monarch of which we all sound true to, Avalokiteshvara, the all-seeing one, the Buddha, the center of the mandala, the inner peace in the eye of the hurricane. So, for further reading to understand ourselves in this inner landscape, please, let's talk Cutting Through Spiritual Materialism, written by Chogyam Trungpa. Shambhala, The Path of the Warrior. And another one to get yourself into is written by Trungpa Rinpoche, which was the 5 Buddha families and the 8 consciousnesses. So if you're interested to know exactly where you fit into the mandala, hopefully this video has been making that clear, and exactly how you can do your dharma, just to tune in and find your field of expertise based on the family of which you represent. I feel if there were a way to cut up the world, if it was completely necessary to create categorical divisions, why not seek the wisdom of the Buddha, who actually divided not only directions on the cardinal map, but associated them with mental qualities, with elemental gravitations, with sensuous inclinations. I might also drop here that if you were interested in getting a little closer to the mountain that your destiny takes you, the karmic path, the Shambhalic warrior way, I am putting out a line of incense, the Tanadug range of incense, which is an incense of which would sound true to those particular qualities of the mountain of which the dignitaries are protecting. I hope this video has been informing to you, and if you have any further questions, discussions you'd like to talk about, by all means, here I am, and may the WINDHORSE compassion, wisdom, longevity, health, prosperity, and peace continue to fly on throughout all corners of the cosmos. Om Mani Padme Hum.